were trying to sell our property in Orton Longville. Our house was a period property, and I know that meant that it had less of an audience than a typical, like a new build maybe. So we knew we had to find the right person for the house at the price that we needed to be able to move forward with the purchase that we wanted. We had previously listed it with another agent and had, to be honest, not the best experience. It started quite well. They got professional photography in, but when we did get an offer after it being on the market for a few months, the contract or the negotiation fell through, and I felt like they were just trying to get it buttoned up and weren't necessarily trying to get me the best price. We were in a 12-week contract, and we had our offer probably at 8 weeks, and that is when I lost trust in them. So then I had 4 weeks where I wasn't able to put it on with another agent. We were uncomfortable continuing with them. I didn't feel like they were on our side. I didn't feel like they had our best interests, and I just didn't trust them. Then we looked at the market, looked for a couple different agents. But one of the reasons that we did like Newton Fallowell was that I felt like I could trust you from the minute you walked in. I just trusted you more than I trusted any of the others. I felt comfortable. I felt like there were some difficult conversations that I would have in why is it not selling, or why, what was the problem. I think that you answered them professionally with research that backed it up, where sometimes people gave me an easy answer or the answer I wanted. You were professional. I felt respected. I felt like you were listening to what we needed and the problems that we had with previous agent. And I appreciated that you had no contract. I felt like saying you have no contract and no fees for the photography up front were two things that were there's no gimmicks. I felt like you had confidence that you could sell it, and that gave me confidence. Yeah, I just felt like it gave me confidence that you would do the right thing and that you had skin in the game. You had something in it to lose, because if you weren't charging me for photography, you didn't charge me any upfront fees, you didn't charge me for a contract, yet you were putting time. So you were putting the photography in, you were putting time every time you came to do a viewing. All the times that you were answering my emails, I was never charged for that time. So until you sold the house, your people didn't get paid. So it was in your best interest to sell it, and obviously that's what I wanted as well. Only in the best word to describe it was professional and respectful. And the team at Newton Fallowell were always available. So if I emailed them, I never had to chase it up. Always got a call back, an email back, a text back. Texts were always open. I always, if that's how I text, I got at least a, yes, I received this, I'm going to action this day. I never got ignored. I never had to chase anything up. I felt like it was, again, just professional and how business, I was cared for and important to them. When we were trying to sell the house, we went through a troubling time, and I think it was the market. And I was saying, should we drop the price? What should we do? And I think I would feel like any other estate agent would go, great, my client is offering to drop the price. Let's do it, and then I can have an easy life. And you actually said, I think we're on the right price. I think we can get this. We just have to get the right person. Instead, you suggested to me, let's do new photography, which you hired a professional to come in, so that would have been money off of your, that you paid. At a previous agency, I had to pay for professional photography, and they invoiced me from the photographer. And it included drone shots, which I know is not cheap, which meant that we talked it through, and we said, well, what's something that people maybe aren't seeing in this house? And we said, well, actually, it's our plot size. It's quite a good plot size for the middle of Orton Longville. So getting that refresh photography that I didn't have to pay for, and the drone shot, again, showed that you were willing to invest to get the sale. They couldn't have recommended better suppliers that also worked as hard as they did and were as professional as they were and answered emails, and they all talked to each other. it was just great. It's just made one thing easier. We had an offer through the first agent, and negotiations fell through, mainly because I feel like that agent was working for the person who had the offer, not for me. I felt like they were trying to convince me to accept the offer that that person made. So we were trying to work towards what they valued it. So either they misvalued it to get our business, or they weren't negotiating well enough on our behalf. Luckily, when we did get an offer through Newton Fowler, we got 3 offers at the same time. And they all happened within like 2 weeks of each other, which was brilliant for us because it meant we were squeezing every 1,000 pounds that we could out of the house, and it made me feel like we got the most that we could have from it. What I appreciated is I felt like Newton Fallowell's team, everyone that I spoke to on the team, wanted to get the most money on our behalf, and they were at the same time were being really respectful to the 3 parties that had offered. I just felt like it was done in a way that made me feel like I got the best price, but I didn't do it in an underhanded way, which made me also feel like if I ever were to buy from Newton Fallowell, I knew that I wouldn't be treated with those same tactics. So I just trusted it, the whole process. So you think that selling your house and getting the best price is like, that's it. That's all you buy, that's all you hire an agent to do once they've done that. But the onward, so from the time that you sell your house or you accept an offer to when you exchange contracts is such a stress. Like, I thought that part was stressful. This part was really stressful. In our process, we lost 2 houses. So we offered on one. We actually had to pull out because of some issues. We offered on a second. We lost that one as well. At that time, we didn't lose our buyer, the Newton Fallowell, and that was one of the reasons that treating everybody fairly and respectfully when you went through the offer process meant that those were the right people. When they offered to when we exchanged, it was 6 months, and that was all because of us. That wasn't because of anything on their behalf. I think Newton Fallowell was really good at communicating to them and keeping them on side so that we never had any renegotiations. We never had anything come back. It was a period property, and I expected potentially them to come back with something from a survey. I knew the house was in good condition, but they never tried anything. And while I say choose an agent that you trust that should get you the best price, you also need ones that are respectful, that are good at responding to your emails, because when we have to chase things up on the other half of the sale, it's so important that people that aren't just out there trying to sell houses, they need to be in the office also trying to finish wrapping them up. I think estate agents get bad reputations, and they often they don't handle the sales or the purchase or the sale always in a respectful way. And we got that in the house we were trying to buy. And our questions weren't answered, my emails weren't answered. When I tried to call them, I was kind of palmed off. And Kieran offered to call them on my behalf to chase things up that they weren't being very honest with me about. And on our behalf, our agent was the one chasing things up for us on our purchase. It had not, just to make sure that the sale didn't fall through. Things were difficult. Kieran was able to, at Newton Fallowell, was able to contact them and manage another relationship. So he's managing the relationship below them and managing the relationship above them, and at different times asking them to manage the relationships. It was just it's such a delicate balance of relationships, and I don't think that I've had an agent that would have managed it as well or as professionally. I wouldn't hesitate. I think that they deserve every success. I think that if they were based in where we've moved out of Peterborough now, and I don't plan on moving, but if I ever did, I would probably call them and be like, will you deal with my house that isn't in Peterborough? Because I just don't think that any other agent will give any of my friends and family the kind of peace of mind that I got through Newton Fallowell. I couldn't recommend you guys enough. But thank you, because we couldn't have gone, more things couldn't have gone wrong that wasn't your fault, that you guys handled. But thank you for sticking with it and getting us to where we are now, because we are very happy.